And I think I'm going to try to.
PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of The Professionals is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hello, and my name is Penny Tindall, and I am the local Summerlin publisher of Desert Foothills Living. I will be hosting this podcast called The Professionals on the first and third Wednesday of every month. Join me as I interview local business owners, community leaders, and nonprofits and hear their story on how they thrive in Las Vegas, what's up in Las Vegas, and just some friendly conversation. So join me on the podcast, The Professionals. Penny Tindall, thanks again. Have a great day. Hello, everybody. This is Penny Tindall here on the podcast, The Professionals, and we meet on the first and third Wednesday of every month. I try to bring a live guest, maybe have some pre-recorded when we can't all make it on time, but I do have in the studio and my real estate expert, Alyse Tenney. So welcome in, Alyse.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yes, I know that every time somebody hears that you're a realtor, they have so many questions. Sometimes it's lending questions, but we all have a laugh. We all understand like what real estate does. It's not just real estate, right? And so being a professional. Yeah, so you are not only a real estate agent, you are a realtor. And so a lot of people don't realize there is a difference. But why don't we first jump in and talk about how you decided to step into the position as a realtor? Like, what was your driving force?
Sure. So, I really became interested in real estate in probably the early 2000s. And I actually helped 7 friends find their homes without being a real estate agent. And at that time in my personal life, I could kind of see the writing on the wall that, I would need to find a way to support myself and my 5 children soon. A divorce was imminent, and I decided that instead of going back, I'd been a public relations executive previously, and I'd done freelance work, but I hadn't done anything in probably 5 to 7 years. And so I decided that I was going to go ahead and embrace my passion, which was real estate. And so I did that about 13 and a half years ago, and I have loved nearly every single second of it.
Yes, of course, we are part of a couple of networking groups because as a realtor, you've got to go and knock on doors physically, but you also have to knock on doors with busy professionals because we all live somewhere. We're all going to be using real estate services. So go ahead and talk about all the different types of real estate services like rentals, buyers, sellers, like what do you like? What's your take on the services that you provide to the Las Vegas and Henderson Valley?
Sure. So I am on a team, and as a team, we provide services to the entire Las Vegas Valley. That includes North Las Vegas, Henderson, Mesquite, Moapa. We also do Pahrump. We just sold a couple of houses in Pahrump. They just closed this week. And Laughlin. We do Laughlin also. So the entire valley. And we offer both rentals, and we help buyers and sellers alike. And we all really enjoy what we do. So it's a great team, and we have a lot of fun.
So I know you're a team. So what is your brokerage that you where you put your hat under?
Sure. We are with EXP Realty and in the Palace Realty Group. And we're all together. We have a great time, and we have fantastic clients. We're so blessed, just over and over. So much of our business comes from referrals. So that's just the highest compliment you could ever give an agent, is when, like, I help you close a house, and then you're like, you overhear your friends say, "Oh, hey, I'm thinking about buying a home," and you're like, "I have a great agent for you." And that is such an honor to be part of that.
Yes, and I definitely know that your personality, number one, is positive. So I know that when I want that $700,000 price point and you tell me 650, you're going to do it with a smile, and you're going to give me some direction on why you don't want to overprice your house. So tell us about some of the stuff that first of all, how's the market going? Tell us, give us an update, because everybody's going to say, what is going on right now?
Yeah. So I think the market, the last 2 years, it has been a little maybe odd, but it's still going up. Like Las Vegas, we're so lucky. We really got hit so hard 2008 to about 2011. We are still going up at least 6% a year. And you really do have to be careful if you're selling a home about how you price it. That's so important, because the homes typically that are priced right, and, they look good, or they're at least priced according to how they look. Like, clearly, if you have a home that you purchased in 2000 and you have never done any updating to it, it's not going to be priced as high as a home that was also purchased or built in 2000 and they've upgraded it. They've redone the kitchens and the bathrooms. Like, you really have to compare apples to apples.
Yes, so sometimes you might not have to do a complete renovation, but you need to have, number one, refresh, and also it needs to be clean, right? Because you were talking
Clean.
about a listing, clean.
Oh, yeah, it's really surprising sometimes when you go into homes, and I completely understand if it's like a tenant occupied home that you're showing. Like, you can't control what your tenants do. That's a completely different thing. And I always explain that to my clients even before we go in the door. Like, before the door is open, I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, this is tenant occupied, which means the seller cannot control what it looks like today." And you take that into account. But if this is your own home, it's so important. I recommend to all my clients, depending on the shape of the home when I go in, you need to get it professionally cleaned. And sometimes that includes windows, sometimes not. But you need it completely clean, because what you don't want people focusing on is, "Oh, ooh, this is like a little dirty." You don't even want that to be a thought. You just want them to be able to walk in the home and see if it feels right to them as something that they'd like to purchase for themselves and their family.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And you also want them to be able to say, I can live here, especially if it's for themselves.
Right.
So a lot of times, maybe you're crazy for your sports, or you have 52 pictures of your cat licking its leg. Sometimes you need to depersonalize, right?
Yeah, you do need to depersonalize it. I was just with a client yesterday. We just on FaceTime. She was walking through, she's getting her house ready we're going to list it pretty soon. And she has, going up the stairs, she has like all of these family photos up the stairs, and it's beautiful. However, when I'm showing a home, like, you want them to be able to picture, you want your buyer to be able to picture themselves living in this home. You don't want them making up a story in their head about the people who already live there. So you want to
Right.
take out like those personal items. I've had another client, and I think this is like an interesting discussion, an interesting debate. Like, they had religious artifacts like everywhere. And I think that that's fine. But even if it, no matter what the theme of it was, I would have said, hey, like your home's a little heavy in the core. You need to take some of that out because you really just want people the opportunity to give your buyers the opportunity to be able to look at the home, be able to picture their own furniture. Like I always know it's a great showing when the buyer walks around and goes, my sectional could fit here. Oh, this hallway is big enough for that hall table and mirror that I love to have right by the front door. Like when they start placing their own furniture in the home, like that is such a positive sign. That's a great job by the seller to be able to like pare down what they have in their own home with their own personal taste, enough to allow a buyer to walk in and go, oh, I can see my taste here. I can see my stuff fitting into this space.
Well, and also, I'm like you had mentioned, clean, but also clutter, because a lot of times some people get overwhelmed. Like,
Mm.
you have every wall is, like you said, it might be beautiful artwork. It could be, depending, but like you said, it needs to be able to, they feel comfortable. What do you think about maybe showing homes and there is a pet present? Do you give any assistance when people have, cats or dogs or even a bird?
So with pets being present, I think that a pet being at the home is completely fine as long as it's in a cage. Um, if it's a dog, like if it's a
Right, a
cat,
kennel.
normally they'll just have like a sign, like please don't let the cat out. Most of the time, cats are pretty shy, so they're hiding underneath the bed. But it is nice to know that if a cat's there, on occasion you have a client who is like severely allergic to cats. And so just even knowing that it's there, I mean, that automatically might not be quite the right house for them. But yeah,
Right.
as long as we know about it ahead of time. I was bitten by a dog once showing a house. They told me that the dog would be in its kennel and it was not in its kennel. And so I open up the door and I walk in and the dog instantly just reaches up and just bites me. And like there's blood everywhere. Like they got me good. And
Wow.
you gotta be careful. Like, of course, like I was fine. I just
Yes.
went and got paper towels and like I was fine. But
Yeah. Did you sell
you
the
know,
house? That's what I want to know. In the end, did you
we
sell the
didn't
client?
buy that particular house, but
Yeah,
but yeah,
just keep
sometimes
on
we
going.
go and open the door and like this dog was just like a schnauzer or something, an aggressive
Uh,
schnauzer. But one time we went and showed a house and they had like, I don't even know what they are, just like some big, huge, massive dog. Like as soon as you open the door, the dogs are there. And thankfully the dog was friendly, but the very first reaction is, uh-oh. You don't want that.
right.
So yeah, dogs should at least be in the kennel if you have a scheduled showing appointment. Cats are fine to be roaming around. And also people need to leave or at least go out to their front porch or their back porch to allow the buyers an opportunity to see the home, and feel like they can really see it. Like buyers can be toured by their own agent. They don't need the buyer telling them about everything in their home. Like this is where
Yeah.
little Johnny, took his first step. You know, you want to be able to write your own story.
Yes, 100%. Totally get that. The great thing is you understand what people want. And, like you always have mentioned that as a realtor, sometimes you are a counselor. Why is this happening? What's going on with here? So I find that, your sweet personality can even give a bad news and still smile about it, make it not do too bad. But go ahead and tell us like a couple cases. I know a couple clients
Mhm.
you had talked about that you work with everyone, and I think that that's very important. It's not always an easy sell. It rarely
Right.
is an easy sell, I'm assuming.
Yeah. You only get like one or two easy ones a year. A lot of them, If they're selling, there's often a reason. Sometimes it's divorce. And when the divorce is like friendly enough, then you can still do like group texts and group emails, and everyone's working toward this, making the home like shining in its best light before you list it. When it's contentious, that's a challenge. I am on a judge's list, so when it's so contentious that they cannot be in the same room even to discuss it, when one person has the home and the other person has moved out, it can get a little dicey, and you've got to be so careful about your communication, making sure that you communicate everything to both parties. And you're going to have to do it separately because they're not able to like do any type of group communication. You just have to be careful, but it is like, the goal is everyone's happy in the end, like as happy as you can be. And then there are also situations where someone has passed away, and I do a lot of probate cases too. So here in Nevada, you can have a will, and as long as nobody contests the will, like you're still pretty good to sell the home. You might have to do a couple of legal things, but the best thing to do is to get a trust, because then the trust owns the home, and then the trust is selling the home, and it just makes it so much easier for everyone. But I do a lot of probate where there was no will and there was no trust. So I work with attorneys too and helping to get those.
So yeah, so you're on the list. So that right there plays a very important part about who you are. You're not just that pretty smiling face. You're obviously a very professional that is detail oriented and can work with different clients under different stress. Because if you're dealing with a lawyer with probate or divorce,
Right.
anything like that, then that's who you want. You want someone that is going to do a fair shake. And,
Right.
in the end, the goal is to, sell the home for the best value, right?
Right.
And communication is really the key. I mean, I feel like a lot of times, do you think that's why some deals fall through is because
Mhm.
there's a lack of communication? Just like marriages, communication can be key, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, both sides. So, whether I'm representing the buyer or the seller, the agents need to be in great contact with each other. And some agents, first of all, some agents are not full time. I'm definitely full time. This is my full time job. Some agents have other jobs, and they're very difficult to reach. Very difficult. Like they won't return texts, nowhere close to promptly, but sometimes like a delay of a day on correspondence can make, like if I'm representing the buyer and we're asking some crucial critical information, because there are deadlines in real estate and we're
Right.
up against a deadline and you don't respond, like my buyer could get a little freaked out, a little spooked, and go, I don't think this is the house for us, like they're not communicating enough. So communication is so important in real estate on both sides of a transaction.
Okay, fantastic. Now you did mention that you're on a team. Does is your team work like some work for this type of client, or you guys just kind of divvy up the work, or do you all just you're concise and you're doing most of the paperwork, you're doing the showings? How do you diversify your team?
Sure. So we all have our own clients. And then when we get in team leads, typically I'll take the buyers and my business partner, Ian, will take the sellers. That's just typically. Ian also does more of the rentals. So, but I do last year, probably I was like 85% sellers, 15% buyers. So it just depends on the year. We all work with every type of client and every price range. So in the same month that I closed a $2.5 million home, I got a $205,000 manufactured home that had been converted to real property. I got that under contract. So, and we work with a lot of veterans. We are the agent of choice for a veteran lender, like a national veteran lender. So our team is the team of choice, I should say, for that lender. And we work with a ton of veterans, and they are some of our favorite clients. We love our veterans, and they have a
Yes.
lot of questions, and a lot of them are first-time home buyers, and they are like 60 in their 60s. That's really fun, so fun and exciting to be able to help them make their purchases here. A lot of retirees are coming here, so it's really a great, great job. I love my job. So
I do. We can tell by your passion, with your smile, when you talk, your eyes sparkle. So we all understand that, and I think that you also enjoy a challenging case, even though it might not be the easy one. I think
right,
that overall, you feel the good benefit of what happened and transpired. The great thing too is what you just said. A lot of realtors are part time, and a lot of times it's time sensitive.
correct.
So you can also take other realtors that might not be comfortable with probate or might not be comfortable with the divorce because it's their two best friends. So I'm assuming that you do referrals, like referral
Sure.
agents come to you and everything like that.
Hmm.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
there are a lot of questions about probate, and even like if I'm representing buyers and if they have the time, because probate does take a little bit longer. If they have the time, I'm in the home. The homes are normally pretty good. I'm directing them. Like, let's look at probate because those are, especially in like a tight market, those are the easier homes to get, and you can negotiate. And it's probate is great. Um,
Okay,
yeah, it's a good
I love
house.
that. So now we're coming close to the end, but let's just say right now for those people thinking that they want to buy, they have the credit ready, they are, hopefully they're pre-approved. I would think that's step one, but
Step one.
they're like, hey, Alyse, I think I want to buy.
Great.
What kind of homework do you get them before you show them a home? Because I know some of the rules have changed. So, what are the new forms and things that the new buyers are going to come out and see now if they come back into the marketplace?
Sure. So, of course, as you mentioned, first we'll connect them with their lender because we need to know what their maximum spending power is, and then they need to tell me if they want to go up to that amount. So, I will set up a personalized, customizable search just for them in the areas that they would like to be with. If they want 4 bedrooms, if they have to have a pool, like let's just enter it all into the computer. So that's all you're getting is anything 4 bedrooms and above or 2,000 square feet and above. So we can set all of those parameters. And then now, as of August 17th of this last year of 2024, across the entire nation, we have to have all of our buyers sign a buyer brokerage agreement. Now, so often I have not met the clients. Like I have a ton of referrals from out of state. So we haven't met in person before you arrive here. So that can be pretty awkward. So we will either meet for like coffee so that we can get to know each other, or if they're super on a timeline, then I have them sign it. I mean, it takes at least 30 days to get under contract and close a house. But if they're uncomfortable signing it for that length of time, which I understand, like you don't know if we click yet, completely get it. I might sound good on the phone and be dumb in person, but I'm not. But I know that that's like a concern that people have. And so I'll just sign it for just that weekend. And then as soon as they feel
Oh,
comfortable, then I'll sign a new one. Like as soon as like if we're just Friday through Sunday and they feel comfortable and we're trying to offer on houses, then I'll just say, hey, I need you to sign another buyer brokerage agreement with at least enough time for me to get it closed.
okay, fantastic. So, right now, people always asking about the rates. I
Yeah.
just heard one of our preferred lenders talk this morning on the FHA. It's a little bit lower rate,
Yeah,
giving
it's
people
really good.
incentives. That's really good. I thought that was great. And, but of course, if the rates go down, the prices go up. Is that right? Usually
Pretty
it kind of like
quickly.
a teeter-totter.
It is. It's a teeter-totter. So everyone is like, oh, I'm waiting for the rates to go down. All right, but you might pay $30,000 more for the house. And that kind of takes away
Right.
that rate help that you just received. So right now the rates have remained, they're right at like 6.7.
Right.
So it's 6.1 for FHA. And VA rates are
Okay.
great. They're also right about there too.
Okay. Well, I love our veterans. I do have a couple nonprofit veteran groups, and it is probably great to put them, especially if it's their first time to purchase. I mean, it really is a no money down loan that's out there, right?
Yes. Well, potentially. So it depends. So if the home is like highly sought after and they already have like 4 offers, then
Oh,
the likelihood of you being able to get closing costs is diminished. It's not eliminated, but it's, we've got to
right.
be very careful in how we do it. I'm very experienced in that because technically a seller can pay a VA buyer's closing costs. Well, really any seller can pay anyone's, like contribute to their closing costs or toward their rate buy down. And that is what we're seeing. We're seeing like the prices remain good, but we're also seeing sellers
Contribution.
offering to contribute to the buyer closing costs, which is great. That's great. Keeps more money in your pocket.
Yes, because a lot of times people don't realize that they have closing costs and they have to contribute and stuff like that. So the great thing is that really not only are you a realtor and a counselor, you are a negotiator, right?
For
Because the whole
sure.
plan is to get the house sold. And so if both agents,
Yeah.
work together, everybody is a win. Yeah,
Yeah.
generally speaking, it's a win-win. The goal is
Yeah.
to sell the house, buyer or seller agent,
Mhm.
which you
And
do
to get
both.
your seller the most amount of money for their purchase and get the buyer sometimes it's not they're going to have more benefit in getting the closing costs to get the rate down just a tiny bit than they are in negotiating $5,000 off the sales price. It's actually more helpful to most buyers to get the 5,000 toward rate buy down.
Yeah, because
Will
that's the
save them
monthly
money.
payment that
Correct.
they're going to pay. So to give them $250 less, well, there you took care of your summer
Right.
power bill, the depending on the size of the house or condo. Okay, well, it's been really lovely. I mean, I'm sure everybody can see that you are super professional, and you've told us that you meet with lawyers and you still stay
Yeah.
cool, as cool as a cucumber. I
Mhm.
haven't, and I believe that to be the true scenario. So at this time, why don't you tell us how our people online can reach out to you via phone, website, your Instagram. Let's do a shout out for you and your team.
Oh, thanks. So my phone number is 702-810-2271. I'm also on Instagram under Alyse Tenney Realtor and also Alyse Tenney. Just you can reach right out to me. I'm also on Facebook for those same 2 names. And then
Nice.
you can look me up at AlyseTenney.com. And then we also have a team website of Palast, Palast, realtygroup.com.
Okay, and you're part of EXP. And
Correct.
again, not only is she a superior realtor, she is also going to be your friend and your advocate. So if you're looking out there, you're just testing the waters. My call to you is to give Alyse a call, see if her team can help you, or at least point you in the right direction
Sure.
before you start the search on finding a listing agent or finding a buyer's agent. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your
Thank
time. And everybody, call Alyse. She's incredible. She's fun. And it's going to be number one for everybody. So thanks again. My name is
you,
Penny
Penny.
Tindall. I am the local publisher for Desert Foothills Living, a Summerlin publication. If you're looking to be an expert in any neighborhood, give me a call. I would love to connect you to my neighbors. Thanks again, and see you in 2 weeks for the podcast called The Professionals. Thanks again. Thanks, Alyse. Bye
Thank
bye,
you.
everyone.
PR PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.